Batman! From Adam West's camp-caped crusader to Frank Miller's Dark Knight, Gotham City's masked vigilante has undergone quite a few changes in the decades since he made his debut in the pages of Detective Comics issue 27, dated May 1939. But besides the box office and Shazam awards, Batman would play his part in the history of video games, with titles gracing every generation, past, present, and without doubt its future. So let's look at some of the best. And we start, controversially, at the beginning, with what I believe to be the very first Batman game, and it's not even American. It seems Alfred pulled some strings and got top British developers Ocean Software to release Batman the video game in 1986 on popular home computers the Sinclair Spectrum and Amstrad CPC 464. Weirdly though, it doesn't seem to have been ported to the Commodore 64. Gameplay takes place in the 3D isometric style that had been popularised with the Ultimate titles a few years earlier. A simple game, but as the very first, should at least be acknowledged. Ocean Software were a company known for their licensed titles, so it didn't take long before a sequel to the highly successful original hit stores. Unlike the first, this time it would see a US release, but most notable difference is the gameplay style, which ditches the faux 3D and instead uses a more traditional 2D mazy style. Run around collecting items while being harassed by respawning enemies that literally take forever to kill. This is the C64 version, but it would also appear on the 16-bit Commodore Amiga and Atari ST. It's hard to believe now, but back in 1989, Warner Brothers considered Tim Burton's Batman film so far down their list of priorities that they gave Burton near complete control over shooting and turned a deaf ear to the fury of the fanboys over the casting of the star of Beetlejuice and Mr. Mum in the title role. But gamers were the real winners here, as the tie-in game would grace more platforms than a presidential candidate. This is the NES version, which is one of the better examples. But seriously though, Michael Keaton is one of the most underrated and underappreciated actors America has ever produced. How he didn't win an Oscar for Clean and Sober is beyond me. It would take far too long to look at each and every version based on the movie that gave Batman his bat balls back, but I wanted to quickly show off what is probably the least well known, and that's the Japanese exclusive PC Engine port, which has you running around a maze collecting items as you go. Very different from almost all other Batman games you can think of, but well worth a bash. I quite enjoyed Batman Return of the Joker on the NES when I played it some years ago. The graphics were pretty impressive and I considered it a worthy addition to the overflowing NES platform library. So I was looking forward to trying the 16-bit Mega Drive version, which had been retitled to Revenge of the Joker. Unfortunately, it's crap. (1992) would see the universe go crazy once more for billionaire Bruce Wayne's alter ego, as Batman Returns hit theatres. This time, Warner Brothers tried to keep a tighter leash on Burton, and the result was, when all is said and done, a great film that just tried spinning too many plates. But like its predecessor, it was also well endowed in the gaming department. This is Batman Returns on the Mega CD/Sega CD, and what at the time was considered a killer app for a system which would die alone and unloved a year later. Put some respect on Konami's name, god damn it. Whatever you think of the Tokyo-based developer today, in the 80s and 90s they knew how to make games with atmosphere, flair and attention to detail that few others could match. This is my favourite superhero game of all time. Yes, it can get repetitive, it's not perfect, but it may as well be when played side by side with some of the next games in Batman's career. It wasn't just Tim Burton's live action outings that had Batman fans the world over tuned to their television sets every Saturday morning, because the animated series, with its intelligent storylines, fantastic voice acting and the first appearance of psychotic sexpot Harley Quinn, would prove that it was possible to be dark and broody and reach a family audience. The Mega Drive and Mega CD video game adaptations are poor and average respectively, but Konami, who developed the SNES version you see here, would produce another classic. But back then, we expected no less. Holy crap, Videogames Batman. It's the tie-in game of the third movie, Batman Forever. I actually went to the cinema to see it because I loved director Joel Schumacher's 1993 thriller Falling Down. Sadly, I didn't know he was a Batman and would ultimately turn The Dark Knight as camp as Christmas. The games are much better. This would mark a dramatic decline in the Batman franchise in both film and games. Interestingly though, the Japanese Mega Drive version is one of the rarest titles on the system. Can't think why, look at it. It's crap. Playing Batman Forever has left such a bad taste in my mouth that I can't be bothered looking at the below average games that followed, like Sin Tzu, Vengeance or Dark Tomorrow. Instead, I'll skip ahead to the title that rehabilitated Batman video games and restored a sliver of my confidence back into AAA games. It's Arkham Asylum, the first in a trilogy of 4 games that really put you into the tights of the Caped Crusader with its fantastic fighting engine, and if you're one of those tramps who've yet to play it, do yourself a favour. Get it. It's terrific. There's really nothing more I can say about it that hasn't been said before. So instead, I'm gonna bounce. So thanks for watching. I may yet upload a follow-up video looking at all the games I skimmed over. There's quite a few. But for now, let me just say again, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Please like, share, comment and subscribe. I'll have more videos up soon. So until then, goodbye.